Welcome back to the Fit to Survive channel. So I've made another EDC kit, or yes, you call it an everyday drive kit. This shape is meant to where it's easy to fit this into like the compartment by the driver's door in certain vehicles, not in every vehicle. Or this is also something that would just fit great into a backpack, like the front pocket. It's a ready kit. You just put it in there and your backpack's ready to go. But anyways, the main challenge I did for myself with this kit is I wanted everything inside of it to be made in the USA. And I've had some comments before. It's not a political statement or anything like that. It's just something I wanted to try to do myself. Of course, I'm proud of things made in the USA, but still just an interesting challenge that I put for myself there. And so, we're going to start with the bag itself. Now, the bag is the Nutsack Commander. And so, this is a waxed canvas, and it's very durable, water resistant as well. They do source their waxed canvas and leather from the United States, and I guess they're made in like either Chicago or Florida. They have two different places that they're manufacturing them. So, anyways, they have some other bags as well, like backpacks and totes and all the kind of cool stuff. Anyways, really great bags here, made in the USA. It's got YKK zippers on it. But anyways, let's go ahead and I'll show you a quick sneak peek on the inside here of the kit that I put together. We're going to start on the outside. And so the bag itself, it is 5.5 inches by like 7.25 inch. And then it's 2 inches, but again, it depends on how thick you kind of pack it there. And so I think it's a great size for what I want. If you want an EDC, like something you could carry on your belt, you need something smaller or maybe a pocket organizer. And then if you want something more serious, because like I said, this isn't like a emergency kit, right? You're not going to be able to bug out with this, right? This is something you can access from your driver door. It's not really an emergency kit. It's more an inconvenience kit whenever you need something to fix something quickly or you made a mess or anyways, you'll see what we put inside. So that's kind of the concept here of this kit. So we'll go ahead and start with the first part here. And so this is a body wipe and it is made by Bravo Sierra, of course, made in the USA. It's actually made in New York. And of course, they give some of their profits to veterans as well. But anyways, this here is basically it's a 9 by 12 inch wipe. And so that's why it's called a body wipe instead of like a hand wipe. And so let's say like if you needed to wipe off your face, your neck, or whatever else, your arms, this is gonna give you a lot more space here to work with. It's pretty thick for a wet wipe. It has a very nice fresh smell to it. So we'll put, as we empty out the bag, we'll kind of just put it all over here to the side. So that's all I put here on the outside. And I was challenged trying to find some American made EDC gear. I thought about adding like just like a pair of like work gloves. I can't find American made work gloves. So anyways, a lot of things here I wanted to add, like also a power bank. I was not able to find American made power bank. So there's lots of limitations that I did run into. And so speaking of that, another thing I had a lot of difficulty with was the flashlight because I really wanted to have a USB rechargeable flashlight, but once again, it has to be made in the USA. And so I ended up with the Surefire. This is the Surefire Stiletto. This is not the Pro versions. The Pro versions are a lot more expensive. And so this is rechargeable. Unfortunately, it's only micro USB. Now, on the newer versions, they do have Type C, but those are really expensive. This one's like $100, so very expensive for the flashlight itself. But like I said, there wasn't a lot to choose from as far as for American-made flashlights with the rechargeable battery. I found a lot that had like batteries that you could use, like the CR123 batteries, or even AAA batteries and so on, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted for a kit like this. All right, so this has basically just four settings. You have your low with 5 lumens, then you have your medium with 250, then your high with 650 lumens. And then on the back here, you have a tactical button. You press that, you get your immediately high, or if you triple click it, it goes into the strobe. You have a function button over here for making some adjustments to the buttons as well. It has an IPX7 waterproof rating, got a pocket clip here on the back. And so it's kind of interesting that it's slim. It makes it easy for a kit like this. And so I do kind of like the design. I wish it's a bit more cheaper than what it is. Therefore, like $100 for that flashlight. All right, so then here in the back, this is frog fuel. And so this is made in Texas. And so it's basically, this is like a protein, or you don't want to call it a drink. I don't know, protein pack, right? You can get this with caffeine. I chose to get it without caffeine. It's berry flavored, kind of sour. It's made in Texas. So anyways, I thought that'd be a great thing to add to a kit like this. And in the back here, we have one more wipe. Now this one's called a cold shower. The reason why I added two is this one's a bit smaller in size. but also it has like a menthol on it. That's why it's called cold shower, is because it actually, I think it smells almost like toothpaste. Kind of funny there. But anyways, like you wipe this on your neck, wherever else, if you're out in the heat, and this kind of helps keep you cool, just that menthol kind of feel to it. But also you notice these like little specks. So it's kind of abrasive, and so it's good when you're trying to like get your hands clean. Those actually do a good scrubbing on your hand there. Again, also of course, naturally made in the USA. I wasn't able to find out exactly where, but anyways, wipe this moisture off. But they are made in the USA, and so that did qualify for what we wanted here. But then next up, of course, is the king of multi-tools. It is the Leatherman, and I decided to go with the Leatherman Signal. So this is kind of their outdoors version. You'll understand here as I go through the tools. But anyways, they do come with some interesting colors. I went the blue and red, kind of like the red, white, and blue kind of concept. If you guys caught on to that, so you have your blade. It is half serrated here. Of course, has a lock on it, liner lock there. And then you have a wood saw. Also has a liner lock on that. And that is literally it for the outside tools, nothing else. The back here, this is meant to work as a hammer. And so you see you're out camping, you use that for driving in some stakes. Of course, it has a little carabiner right here that doubles as a bottle opener. I guess, everybody needs a bottle opener. Then this on the outside, something interesting here, you'll notice. So you push this down, slide it back, and that is a diamond blade sharpener there. So kind of an interesting addition that they added there. All right, then you open this up. Oh, I guess I should mention that it has a lock here. And so if you slide this down, if you saw that right there, you slide that up or down. Whenever it's slid down, it's locked shut. You slide it open to be able to access the inside here. So you have the pliers. This does have the hardened tips here that are replaceable. Mine's kind of stiff. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be that stiff, but anyways, this on the inside has the Leatherman bit driver. So it has the Phillips, the flathead, and you can get some replacements for it. Then also, of course, all these inside tools lock as well. You have the awl, and then lastly, you also have the can opener right here. All right, and then the one last thing here you can also access from this side. You just slide this back, pull this out, and what you have is a striker, or I guess a ferro rod. And so basically, cast a spark, starting a fire with that, and then also right here, you have an emergency whistle, which I don't suppose you guys want me blowing on that right now. So that just fits right here on the inside. And again, the concept behind it is that it is meant to be an outdoors, kind of like a survival tool. So I thought it'd be interesting to add to a kit like this. All right, so that is the Leatherman Signal. Next up, I added, this is the Right in the Rain ink pen. And so I like the size of it. It's also, of course, made in the USA, like everything in this kit is going to be. This uses the Fisher Space cartridge, which is also an American-made cartridge, which extra bonus for that, right? I like the Fisher Space cartridge. They write really well underwater and all that kind of good stuff. Basically, you write it in space, right? That's where it gets the name from. So I like the shape of the pin also. It has a triangular shape to it. And so it's actually really comfortable in your hand. It's a small pin, but I think it's just the right size where it's not going to be too small to use. Of course, nice bolt action here, and then a really large pocket clip. And if you were the type of person who wanted to add a lanyard, you could do that as well. All right, then moving over here, we also have, this is the Uncle Bill's Sliver Gripper. It's made in the USA. So I put this on a lot of my kits. You guys have probably seen it before. So it's like tweezers, but the tip is really sharp on these. And so made in the USA. This is made in Connecticut, by the way. Let me get this back in here, just like that. So those are made in Connecticut, and I don't think I mentioned, but the Right in the Rain is made in Washington State, by the way, and then the Leatherman is made in Portland, Oregon. All right, that is it for the left side, middle here. So I added a tied to go pin, and so the basic concept is if you have this in your vehicle, if you're eating something or you're drinking a coffee and you make a mess, of course, tied to go can come in handy there. I don't know where it's made, but I do know for sure that it is made in the USA. A lot of things here mention that they are made in the USA with globally sourced like parts or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with using parts from around the world. That's okay, in my opinion. All right, then I was going to go with a Zippo lighter. I found one with a nice big flag on it. But unfortunately, while I was putting this kit together, it took me about a month kind of to research everything, to find everything. But anyways, I had to refill it twice. And so, and not because I was using it, it was just, I guess, draining somehow or evaporating. So I decided to go ahead and go with the Bic. Now, not all Bics are made in the USA. This one right here is. Several of them are made actually in France or in Spain or in other places like that. And so there we have, for any emergency, we have some fire. All right, then this is also pretty interesting, simply because I had such difficulty finding American-made bandages, right? I thought I'd go with like just Band-Aid or Curad, right? Nope, those are all made in made abroad. And so this is Care Science bandages, and they are made in Florida. So thought that was interesting how difficult that was to find that. But then also I added some dental floss. These also have the picks on the end. Another difficult thing to find, trying to find something made in the USA. So this is Brightworks, and it's made in Illinois. And so, of course, I'll have links down in the description of the video if you guys are interested in putting together a kit like this or anything in the kit here that you liked, so you can basically be able to find that a lot easier than I did. All right, and then next up, I have a lock picking set here. Now, this is from Sparrows, and this is their mace kit. And so just the two picks, you have the rake and then the single pick. And the back of each of these works as a tensioner. So this section here, you'd fit into the lock. And then whichever other one you didn't use as a tensioner, you'd use for your pick. So these are made in Illinois. And so I actually like carrying these in several places, in my wallet, in a lot of different places, just because they're so small and easy to carry like that. All right, so Gorilla Tape is also made in the USA. It's made in Ohio. And so you guys know Gorilla Tape is great for fixing a lot of things. Basically like duct tape. This one's thinner. I think it's a lot stickier than duct tape is. Then the next thing that I added in here, some lip balm. And now I went with this because one of the main reasons, of course, first of all, is that it's made in the USA. But other than that, is also that it doesn't melt in the heat. And so like I used Burt's Bees, Burt's Bees before, and it always melts. So this one's not supposed to melt. I'm still testing it. Funny thing is actually the parent company for O'Keeffe's is actually Gorilla Glue, which is, I don't know, kind of odd for lip balm. But yeah, I guess they keep their lips sealed about that. Anyways, here in the back also we have Write in the Rain pad. Again, just for emergencies, writing things down. Of course, made in the USA, also made there in Washington State. All right, then over here we have, this is Titan Survival cord, I'm sorry. So basically it's like 550 cord, but then it also has some extra strands here on the inside. I'm going to cut off a piece, and I'll tell you more about that if you've not seen this before. So typical 550 cord has just several strands of nylon on the inside. It's meant to hold 550 pounds. That's where the name comes from. But this one is actually rated for up to 620 pounds. And you'll see here why in just a second. Let's pull these out. So basically, it's called survival cord because it also has this juke cord, which is this sticky one that doesn't want to come out right here. All right, right here in the middle of all this mess. So this is a juke cord. I got it out. There we go. Let's just pull all of these out. Just like that. Okay. So this is the juke cord, this brown one here. And so what you do is you're supposed to fluff this up basically because it has like wax on it. And so it's actually supposed to be waterproof as well. But anyways, you fluff that up about like that. You actually could just cast a spark like with a ferro rod. That'll help you to start a fire with that. Toss that to the side here. All right, then you also have a pretty thick fishing wire as well. And then here you have trap wire. So it's this metal wire. And then you have your typical strands. They do have one colored strand, but nothing special about it other than that it's colored. So it's your typical strands there inside that. And so 550 cord basically is the same concept, but this has those extra strands on the inside as well. That is actually veteran owned. I don't know exactly what state it's made, but it is made in the USA. And then the last thing that I added to this kit is just some emergency cash. And also, fun fact, most cash is printed in Fort Worth, Texas. And so there's something if you guys did not know that. So that is it for this kit. That's all I put in here. I didn't want to overpack it like I tend to do. But anyways, also it is worth noting there's another pocket right here along the side. I didn't place anything in there. I didn't have any need for it. That is it for this kit. Let me know what you think about it. All in all, this cost me right about $370 to put this kit together. And so, kind of on the more expensive side, once again, with some American made gear. Let me know your thoughts about using American made gear. If maybe you have your own favorite American made EDC that you use, let me know down in the comments. I am curious. I do want to expand. I really wanted to add some like painkillers. Like the only thing I could find was this one's, for example, it's made in India. And so I haven't been able to find American made painkillers. So if you guys know of any, do let me know down below. Let me know if you'd like to see like a different kit, like as in different as in made in a different country. Like try to find gear all made in, let's say, Germany, right? Or whatever. Let me know down in the comments. I might be interested in putting together a kit like that as well, just to kind of see what we can come up with. But I found this very exciting. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's gonna be quite a while to kind of research, find American made gear. And so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.